Greetings, fabulous Ficket educators. Once again, this is Miss McCrary coming to you live for another episode of Freckle, and more Freckle. Within this tutorial, we're going to dig deeper into our ELA portion of Freckle. So, if you're not an ELA teacher, guess what? You have the option of pressing in now. However, if you'd like to come along with us, come along and learn about the features of ELA. So I am still in Miss Ingram's third grade dashboard, and as I logged in, I was directed to the activity feed. So now I'm going to go down to the ELA portion, and I'm looking to assign practice for my class for my current standard. So I'm going to click assign, and then I have 5 options. I can create an ELA skill practice, which is focused on the skill. There are short reading passages that build skill proficiency. We also have articles and stories that are informational articles and fictional stories at a personalized level. So whatever level the students pre-tested on, that's where they'll begin. We also have a word study. Now this section right here is the bomb. If you want our students to dig deeper into the meaning of words, please use this individualized spelling practice based on word patterns. Word study, it is great. Another option that we have that can align with our IDI is decodables. These are simple stories with phonetic spelling patterns and sight words that help build our students' fluency. And the last portion, which is about 5 different versions of a benchmark assessment that is very cumulative. It would be for the whole year. Okay? So what we're going to do is look at, well, actually a little bit of each. So we're going to look to assign a skill practice. So I'm currently working on informational reading information, and let's just say RI1. So I'm going to click ELA skills practice, and this is something I want to create for the entire class. I'm going to select everyone, and I want it to be targeted, meaning that I want it to be on the standard. I'm not going to, for this assignment, choose adaptive. Of course, we know adaptive means it's when I push out this assignment, it'll be at the student's adaptive level, which may be a grade level before or it could be grade level up. But I'm going to do our current standard, so I'm going to click targeted, and it is 3rd grade. And it's already chosen. I'm going to do reading for information. That's my RI. Then I'm going to look for my RI standard, and we're working on explicit information. And this is a portion of the standard to the right. And I'm going to choose the skill that I want them to work on, which is the details. And then I'm going to click assign. And thus it has appeared in my assignment section of my dashboard. So I'm going to go back and I'm going to show you what the actual, let's see what it looks like. So that's my targeted practice right there. And let's just click the blue arrow, which should take me to the activity. Now look at this. You have a little short passage on the left and questions on the right. Okay. So this person was assigned, well, we assigned a 3rd grade level. They haven't completed it yet. So they have the passages and pictures and captions and everything on the left. You have your questions on the right. So this is actually what they will see. And then when we review the data, we'll be able to see if they got those questions right or wrong. So that's what it looks like. So I'm going to go back to my assignment, and all I did to see what it looks like was I clicked on the blue arrow, so just so I can see what it looks like, and that's the grade level standard. And what I like about Freckle is it gets the students in the habit of looking at the text on the left and answering questions on the right. And I also get to see the type of questions that they missed or the type of question they got correct. Okay. So that, once again, was a skill-based assignment that is aligned to the current standard. So the second one I want to look at, and I'm going to click ELA. I'm going to look at an ELA skill practice again, but I'm going to choose the adaptive level. So I'm going to go in, I'm going to choose the adaptive level, same standard. I'm going to create the assignment, and now I'm going to label it. Now I'm going to look at some of the questions. Let's see what they came up with. Oh, can't come up with anything in this class because they have not had the chance to take their pretest. So I'm going to go back, look at a different assignment, ELA, and I'm going to choose articles and stories. So when I'm choosing articles and stories, I get to choose the genre and the domain, okay? And this is a lot of information here. So let's just say I'm looking on 3rd grade. So I know that this article here is a 3rd grade. It comes in all these different levels. So if I know my students are level B, 3B, I can choose this article. And I'm going to choose 3B because that's what I wanted. That's the level my students are working on. And I can preview and say, okay, I think they can answer that. I think that looks good. And then I can assign it. I can also print with the answers or without. And I can also share it. Okay. So this option is super. I love it. But there's a little work now. You do have to choose the article and look for the appropriate level for your students. Okay. So let's go back. And we're going to look at ELA one more time. So we looked at the ELA skills practice, which is the skills we want our students to practice by standard. And then we also have an option to choose articles and stories to assign based on their reading levels, which can be aligned to Fontes and Pinnell, RDI, whatever you choose, okay? Now we can look a little bit into word study. So once again, I'm going to choose all my classes, and I say, this is my, I can select the grade level, so I'll do 3rd grade word study. If I wanted to, I could do a 2nd grade word study. And let's just say, I noticed that my students were not as proficient with a long A. So I'm going to choose level 63. And voila, all students have an assignment with that level of words, okay? So I'm going to do one more thing. I'm going to see if I can find it. Let's see if I can see what those words look like. So here they are. Oh, they have to do the pretest. So we can't see what the actual words look like. So let me go back. So once we see that, once they have their pretest done, we'll be able to see what those questions look like. So once again, that is word study. Let's see. So let's look at some decodables. I'm going to choose the class again. Hopefully I'll be able to see some questions. And let's just say, the decoder that I would like for them to work on is, I don't know nothing about this. You know, this is my math brain now is about to be gone. So let's say C and D. I don't know about that. So then I'll assign, and they'll have some work with C and D. Okay. So I'm going to go back again. I'm looking at the last feature within ELA, which is benchmark assessments. Now, we're not going to really touch any of these right now because guess what? It is cumulative and we haven't covered enough information yet. So I'm going to log out of here. I'm going to go back to my assignments, which is I can go to the top or the bottom. And I'm just going to look at some of the different assignments that I have created for my students within ELA. Now, I hope you all truly enjoy the features here. I want to show you one last thing. I'm going to check Miss Ingram's roster to make sure I included herself as a user. Do I see Miss Ingram? Nope. So I'm going to go in. I'm going to click add a student. And I'm going to add Miss Ingram as a student in her class. So I'm going to say Lavita Ingram. And I'm going to add her as a student in her 3rd grade class. And so what I'm going to do now, because I went to peek and look at these things that we have for ELA, I'm going to go to freckle.com. I'm going to sign in as a student so I can see this ELA stuff. So I'm going to go back and grab her class code. So I'm going to go to roster. I'm going to grab this class code right here because I just added myself on as a user. There I am. Where am I? There I go, right there. So I'm going to put in a class code, arrow over, put in my first name. I am Lavita Ingram today. And we're going to look into the ELA portion. So this is what 3 through 5 board looks like. Welcome to Freckle Lavita. Use Freckle to practice your math and ELA, and you earn coins for practicing. So I'm going to practice ELA, so I click ELA there. And let's look at a word study to see what it looks like. So I'm going to take my pretest. So I click, take my pretest, answer my questions. I can go back my skill practice. I have to take a pretest for my skill practice. Remember the assignments that we created was adaptive. And I also have a library that is going to help me define my reading level. Okay, so the combination of all those 3 things help Freckle to determine your student's reading level. So I would suggest make sure that all students grades 3 through 5 take the pretest in each of these 3 domains. Now, all of the assignments that we created are here. So you have a tab for math and you have a tab for ELA. Okay, but remember, I did not include myself before I made the assignment, so that's why I do not see them posted here. Okay, so perfect. Absolutely love it. So what do your students need to do? They need to take the pretest for word study, skills practice, and library. What are these results going to do? Freckle is going to determine their reading level, their adaptive skill practice level, and their word study level. So that when students get ready to take, oh Lordy, I'm logged out because Freckle don't want me logging in for some reason. So I'm going to log back in, and the assignments that we created, remember we weren't able to see the questions? Why was that? Because students were not have not completed their pretest yet. Okay, so once they complete their pretest, you'll be able to see the types of questions that they had on the assignments that you created. So I created all of these assignments without students being able to complete their pretest, but once they finish, I can see what these questions are like and how well they did. Okay, so as a review, this ELA portion is bad to the bone. Let me tell you, you can create all types of assignments, skill, articles, which is so awesome for our students. Dig deeper into words and vocabulary. You can get your phonemic awareness and patterns and sight words with decodables. But once again, please allow your students to take the pretest. So that's the ELA portion. Hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you in the classrooms.